Hi everyone, how are you doing today? I am doing fabulous. I just left some time with God in adoration. I'm going to explain what adoration is to those of you who are not sure. Briefly, in the Catholic faith, we go to Mass every Sunday, and during that Mass, the Eucharist is consecrated into the body, blood, soul, and divinity of our Lord Jesus Christ. Do you want me to repeat that in English? So we go to Mass to receive the living God. The priest takes the Eucharist, which is the host, the unleavened bread, and consecrates it, meaning turns it into the living God. Amazing. That's why Mass is so intense, why people are praying and so reverent and unworthy and worshiping God, because we know that when we get in that line, moments away from receiving the living God into our bodies. That is why the Eucharist is the source and the summit of our faith. And if you don't believe that, then you're not a Catholic. I'm just going to say it. That is where it's at. That's the most amazing sacrament, and it has changed my life. It is why I am sitting with you right now. So you take that consecrated host, that Eucharist, and for adoration, the church puts it into a vessel called a monstrance. And it looks like a big gold sun. It's gold. A lot of them look different. They're all absolutely stunning because it is our Lord. And you can go into a chapel and spend time with him. You could even go anytime. Some of them are 24/7. So whatever works for your schedule, you can spend some time with God. Or you can go into the church, check your local parishes for when they have adoration. And just sit and listen and pray and talk to and build your loving relationship with God. So I went into adoration today because, quite frankly, all of this is for him. I am his instrument. I need to know, what does he want me to talk about to you people? What does he want me to convey? And I brought in a pen and a notepad. I waited and I was trying to calm my mind. It's hard to get yourself kind of into the silence and where you're really at. And while I was trying to shut my mind down, my hand, it was supernatural, people. It wrote down, show people how to live the gospel. I about flipped out. First, so simple, of course. Why didn't I think of that? And second, he did it without me thinking of it. Show people how to live the gospel. So what does that mean, really? If you're like me 5 years ago, you know probably nothing about the Bible. I was a confirmed Catholic, but I knew nothing about the faith. I certainly didn't know that was the real presence of God in the Eucharist. I really didn't even know what the Eucharist was. So at the end of it all, I'm trying to get it real simple for people who are, not practicing or haven't really read the Bible or don't really have a prayer life, because that was me 5 years ago. Let me sum it up simply. The gospel is the map that God gave us on how to live our lives in order to get to heaven. Let me repeat it. It's the map to heaven. So if it's the map to heaven, why isn't everybody living the gospel? Because we're human and we sin and we love all these creature comforts and all the temptations and the me secular culture that we live in. It's pathetic. We weak, feeble-minded humans can't live by the gospel. And when you know the gospels, you know they're the way to live. So that's why it's so important to have daily prayer, daily reflection, and a daily relationship with God so that he can help you through sacraments, through his graces, live like the gospel. Because it's not easy, because it's actually quite, different, sometimes contradicting the way that people say you should live your life. But some of us think we know better. I'll just do this. God's all merciful. He's going to take me into heaven when I get there. I'm just going to continue to live my life because I know better. I'm a good guy. I'm a good girl. I can get in. Not the way it works. The gospel is the way to peace and happiness. It's God's recipe for joy. Period. So I am going to bring you a Kendra-ized version of how to live the gospel in your everyday life every week. I'm trying to hit those people that were like me 5 years ago. Bring them along on, hey, okay, I get it. I get how we can bring this into everyday life. And maybe some of you people who are so much more faith-filled than me, biblically knowledgeable, might catch a thing or two as well. So stick with me. And I want your comments along the way, of course, as usual. So, we really need to live the gospel, the God positioning system. And my mission is to enrich your life through faith and prayer and come to you every week to hopefully make your life more personally rewarding and professionally successful through prayer and faith. I am really excited to see where this goes. And remember, in the Catholic Church, everybody goes to Mass on Sunday, listens to the same gospel reading. If you had every single person on this planet go to Mass and listen to the same gospel, actually contemplate the word and apply it to their lives, can you imagine what this world would be like? It would be a worldwide culture. I might even go as far as saying as it would be a compassionate culture. I'm sorry, I had to do that. Okay, so I'll come to you every week with how to live the gospel. Period. I look forward to coming back next week. And in the meantime, please have a blessed and inspired week. Till then.